Alright guys, here we go. We're going to make the brine. I've got 4 cups of water. I've got a 1/4 cup of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and all we're going to do is we're going to pour that and combine that into a mixing bowl. Decently large. Doesn't have to be huge, but it's got to be large enough to hold where the chicken will stay submerged. So hang on. Alright, so we got everything situated. We got our 4 cups of water. We're going to pour that into the bowl. See how it kind of fills it halfway? We need that to be filled up kind of halfway so it submerges the chicken. We're going to take a 1/4 cup of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar. I use raw sugar. I don't think it really matters. I've not found a difference. I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to give that a nice stir. I want to make sure that everything's well incorporated, because this is our brine, so this is going to help tenderize that meat, give it a little bit of flavor. The sugar does give a little bit of sweetness, but it's not something that you'll notice in the end result. Alright, so right now we've got all this nice and incorporated. Alright, I've got my chicken thawing. Now these are chicken breasts. These are from Costco. They're nothing fancy. They're just regular old chicken breasts. And you're kind of wondering, how do you make fried chicken without the skin on? I'm going to show you. It's not that hard. And all I want to do is make sure that these submerge below that line. As you can see right there, they're below the line. Alright guys, you can see we've got our chicken breasts firmly into the bowl. Now they're still half frozen because I want to let them thaw out as I go. But I want them to thaw out in that brine, so that way it breaks down the meat and tenderizes it. So there you go. There's our brine. Alright, for the next step guys, we're going to start adding our ingredients. We have 2 cups of cold water. Add that to our bowl. Alright, we have 1.5 cups of cornstarch. I'm just going to pour that right on in there. We have 1 cup of flour. We have, now I'm going to put this up on the screen guys. We have 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of pepper. Now that's going to seem like a lot of pepper, but this is a very thin batter. It's very watery, so it's going to really go a long way. So we want the 2 tablespoons of pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. Now I like a little bit of bite, so sometimes you can go a little heavier on that, but 1/2 teaspoon won't really show that much. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of garlic, and that's it. So I thought I had one more there. And that's it. I'm just going to kind of pour this all into there. As you can see, paprika, cayenne, get all that mixed in. Let's take these bowls, set them aside here. Get our whisk. And this splash is really easy because, like I say, this is a very thin batter. So let's get her incorporated here. Oh, we're sticking a little bit. And it'll do that. Actually, I need to tell you guys that. The cornstarch at first is going to feel like it's sticking. You know, let's get a little heavier whisk. I love this silicone whisk, so sometimes they're not as strong as these old metal ones are. I've had this thing for 20 years. Now, sometimes the cornstarch will stick in the bottom. All that means is it just doesn't have water into it yet. Just keep incorporating it. Just keep mixing it. Remember, this is a watery batter. There we go. It's going to start coming off the bottom. You can kind of tell. It's just sticking on the bottom there. Just keep working it. And this is also another good reason to add the water first rather than the dry, because the dry will actually really adhere to the bottom. Let's keep on going. There we go. As you can see, now it's all broken up. I got everything nice off the bottom. I'm just going to sit here, guys, and give her just a nice little whisk. Nothing fancy. Now you can probably see that pepper on the top. And that's where most of it's going to hang. It's going to hang right on the top. Keep whisking until I don't see any more lumps. Get all of that incorporated. All together. Alright, I think that's going to be good enough. All right, I think that step's good, guys. So there's our batter. You see how runny it is? Let me just swirl this around for you. That's what you want. You don't want it thick. You don't want this batter to really beat up on your chicken. Remember, there's no skin on this chicken. This is chicken boneless chicken breast, fried chicken. So this is a little different. So let's go on to the next step. All right. Okay, like I said, we did the batter. We've made the brine. Right now, the chicken is thawing in the brine. One thing I like to do when it starts to get more thawed out is just take my knife, and instead of using these huge breasts, I actually increase the surface area by cutting them in half. So all I'm going to do is take these chicken breasts, cut them in half, and all I'm doing, guys, is increasing the surface area. Now I had these halfway frozen, so they're nice and easy to cut. When you have chicken, and you're cutting chicken and you leave it to be a little bit half thawed, it will actually cut a lot easier than thawed chicken. A good sharp knife helps too. Alright guys, so I've taken the chicken out of the brine. I've put it into the batter. I'm just letting it sit here for a few minutes. Right now I'm heating up my pan and my stove. Let's take a little test here. Oh, not quite ready yet. So we're not quite there yet. You want your oil to be about, I think it's 320 degrees. I'm not sure exactly. I have mine on about medium to 3/4. I do want it hot, but I don't need it to where it's smoking. One of the ways I test it, I just throw a little bit of the batter in there, and if it cooks right away, I know it's hot enough. So let me go ahead and let this heat up a little bit more, and we'll be right back. Alright, so let's test the oil again. Oh yeah, there we go. See how it bubbled up right away? That's where we want it, guys. That's what we want. Alright. There's 2 or 3 little keys to this. Hot oil. The chicken's been submerged in the batter now for about 20-25 minutes. The key is to be quick on your transfer. There's no skin. It's a very thin batter. As you can see, it's going to run off pretty quick. Now, believe it or not, it's a little thicker than you would believe. Even though it looks runny, it actually hangs onto the chicken pretty well. So I'm giving this a final stir. Grab it by the tip. Make sure this is nice and under. And this is going to go fast. And boom. And I'm going to keep repeating this process. I'm going to grab this by the tip. A good batter. And boom. That's kind of a little trick. Keep the batter on the chicken. And boom. 2 more. Alright, and the last one, guys. Make sure we get a nice film on this, both sides. And boom. Alright, let's take the batter away. We won't need that anymore. I'm not going to use that for anything else. As you can see right now, it's starting to cook. Do not turn the chicken yet. The key, one of the keys to this batter, it's a great batter. It's very thin. And one of the keys to keeping on the chicken is don't turn it right away. Even if, like to say, I have the chicken stuck in the corner here where it's not in a really good spot, leave it alone. Let it go for about 4 or 5 minutes until you get a crust on it. What happens is the batter actually encapsulates the chicken and holds on to itself. So it's actually not really going to adhere to the chicken so much. It's actually going to just wrap it itself, almost like a taco in a sense. So you want to wait. So what we're doing right now is I'm just kind of feeling my way. See, it's not ready to move yet. So we're going to keep on waiting here. While we're waiting, I'll talk to you a little bit about how this came to be. This is actually a combination of about 3 recipes that I've tried. I liked the thinner batter before, or now compared to the thick batter before. It was just too much breading, too much coating. I don't like all the breading. I like the chicken, I like the fried chicken, I like the really thin crispiness of it. So for me, it was a big deal to find a batter that was there for the flavor, you know, the seasonings and everything. But you don't want this half-inch thick batter. You know, you don't eat all the breading. That's just not what I wanted to do. So one of the keys was finding a way to get a thin batter. All right, She's stuck to the bottom. I'm kind of go underneath it a little bit. We're going to do our first turn. See, it's kind of golden brown already right there? That's what you want. That's what you want. Nice and sealed in. Nice and sealed. It sticks to the bottom. I just take my tongs, I go under it a little bit. And that's how I turn it right there. Alright. I go under it, and then I turn it. And there we go. There's our batter right there. Bingo. Let's get this guy turned over. Ah, that's perfect. I had a friend of mine that I was making dinner for one time kind of refer to this as like a fish fry batter. And I suppose it is similar. It's not a flavoring for fish. I wouldn't recommend it for fish at all. You'd have to change it up a little bit. Especially the pepper is probably a little heavy for fish. But for chicken, it's pretty much right on the money. Alright guys, we'll let this cook down a little bit. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch it. We did the good flip. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're still cooking along. One thing to note, that if you do cook with this, it's kind of a one-shot deal with your grease. You do get a lot of runoff with the batter a lot of times. Especially early on with the recipe, I struggled with getting more batter into the grease than on the chicken. Like I say, the tricks that I kind of pointed out to you were grab it by the end, dip it in right away. That's kind of the key to all this. You can see this is kind of not what I want, the extra little the breading and stuff. I love the breading, but I don't want it to be 100% breading. When I normally make chicken like this, I'm using the grease for something else. French fries, fried scallop, whatever it is. It's kind of a one-time deal with the grease. So keep that in mind, especially if you're money conscious. I do fry a lot of foods. My favorite. I'm a guy. I like simple foods. French fries, chicken, fried chicken, hamburgers. So you can see, nice brown coating. Believe me, I can see the chicken through the coating, except the coating itself is actually surrounded the entire piece of chicken. See if I can get a piece up here and show you real quick. Get you up there. There we go. You can see that pretty well. The entire chicken is coating, but it is ultra thin. Thin to the point of where you can see the chicken through the coating. It's not this heavy breading where you're going to have to eat a pound of flour to get to the chicken. That's not how I do it. Keep it thin. Cook it high. Alright, we're still cooking. I'll be back. Alright guys, still cooking. We're still going along. We got that perfect golden brown breading going on there. Ah, smelling good. Tell you what, this is going to be a great lunch. Wow. Getting hungrier and hungrier by the minute. I keep turning these guys. I don't want them to sit on one side for too long and burn. They're not sticking to the bottom as all. I don't have a really deep pan. I have a regular cast iron. It's a large cast iron. It's not super deep. So the oil level is kind of probably about 1.5 inches. And that's plenty if I keep turning them. I don't walk away from them except to get a drink or something maybe. But I keep turning them. Turning, turning, turning. That's one of the keys also. One of the ways to tell when fried chicken is done is it floats to the surface. Well here, it's a little tougher. But you can start to see what will happen is you'll start to see little fissures and little cracks start to come through the chicken. Kind of a hint that you're getting close. Now, like I said, this was thawed chicken breasts. They sat in the brine for an hour. I let them sit in the batter for 20 minutes just to see if I could soak up any more of the flavors from the spices, the pepper, the paprika, some of the cayenne. We don't want it hot, but we do want a little bit of crunch and a little bit of bite. I'm going to serve this probably with just some French fries behind this and just have it like a little quick lunch. I'll save it for tomorrow, the leftovers, and it'll probably be lunch tomorrow too. As you can see, 6 pieces of chicken goes a long way when you bread it like this. And you don't have to sit there and chomp on flour trying to get to the chicken. You see that's starting to pop and sizzle. There we go. Show you guys again really close. Oh man, look at that. That is nice. That is nice. Now the ultimate test on chicken is to cut it open, and you want to see clear liquid come out. You see clear liquid come out, it's done. You can have juicy chicken with clear liquid. If it's any kind of discoloration, keep cooking it. It's not ready yet. You don't want to eat that just yet. But this is doing really well. I'm really happy with this today. Once in a great while, I don't follow my own little rules and I just throw it together, and next thing you know I'm complaining because my chicken didn't turn out right. So this video is a good fallback for me to watch again when I cook again. Alright, we're getting close, guys. Be right back. Alright, we're coming to the end, guys. She is nice and almost probably a little more than golden brown. As you can see right there, I know they're finished because I've made this many times this way, and when the batter gets this golden brown, they're ready. But I'll show you. We'll cut into it, and you'll see the nice, clear liquid, perfectly cooked chicken on the inside. Smells fabulous. I can't wait to eat it, guys. It's gonna be a great lunch. Tell you what. All right, time to plate it up. Got my paper towel, my napkin. I'm gonna drain off as much oil as I can originally while it's hot. That's when the most oil will come off. Take your time here, guys. Don't burn yourself. I occasionally do. I regret it every time. Alright. You guys can see I'm trying to give you a good shot there. Oh, that's impressive. That's impressive. I know there's people out there that'll say you can't have good fried chicken without the skin. Well, I'm disagreeing with you. I haven't had skin on fried chicken in a long time. I have not missed it, and I am a fried chicken guy. And the last one. So you see in the pan, I've still got some batter where it originally came off, but that's all that came off. Everything else is on the chicken itself. I mean, right there, it's on there. That's all that came off out of all that batter I put in there. So we're in good shape. Love it. Alright guys, got them plated up. I know what you're thinking. If you're hungry, you're like, I want that. Too bad, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to give you a nice little taste test here, a cut into. Oh, there we go, we'll go with this guy right here. I'm going to cut him right in half. Woo, she's hot. Look at that, guys. Perfectly cooked. It's not dry. See the crust on the outside? That's a boneless chicken breast. It's awesome, guys. I know. Woo! It's hot. Just came off. You see the crust or the skin? Or actually not skin at all. There's no skin, so it hangs on right to itself. That's good. Man. I tell you what. Woo! Perfect. Sorry guys, absolutely perfect. It's got a hint of spice. You can taste the pepper, you can taste the paprika a little bit. The slightest hint of cayenne. It's not hot, but it's warm. It's a perfect blend of herbs and spices. I tell you, give it a try, guys. You'll love it. If you don't have regular chicken, you can. This is what I made it for. I made it for boneless chicken breasts. It's perfect. I might make another piece. Anyway, let me sign off. Saying best wishes to you. I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy. See ya. Check out my other channel, The Bearded Gardener, where I actually grow what I cook. Saves a lot of money.